All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Shari Placko, and I am here with the amazing Tracey Black. And we are here to talk about how to clean smarter, but spend less. So, tonight we're really going to talk about something that affects every single one of us. Because whether you love cleaning, you hate cleaning, or you fall somewhere in the I clean because apparently people live in my house category. We all use cleaning products, right?
Yeah.
And I want to start by saying this class is not about fear, although it might sound like it as we go
Send
on.
it to me.
It's not about throwing away everything in your house tonight. And it's definitely not about perfection. For me, it's about awareness. I'm a wife, a mom, a grandma, and a third grade teacher. And over the years, especially as I've gone through my own wellness journey over the past 11 years, I've become so much more aware of the products I bring into my home and that I use every single day. So tonight, Tracey and I are going to talk about what we need to look for and what you can use that's better. And the best part is it's like an easy button. So we are going to show you how we have simplified our cleaning routine, reduced the number of products that we need, and made more
My
intentional
texting.
ingredient choices and
Not
saved money
messaging. That's
along
my
the way.
texting. That's all the
This
texting.
is messaging.
I don't want messaging.
All right. So here's what we're going to be covering tonight. We're going to look at what may be hiding in some everyday cleaning products and a few ingredients that you should be looking out for. Then we're going to talk about simple ways to reduce your exposure and what to use instead. And finally, we're going to get practical because, we're not just going to tell you there's a problem and then leave you hanging, right? We're going to talk about an easy button, low tox options, budget friendly ideas, and simple next steps. Because when this call is over, we want you thinking, okay, I can do it. It's not as overwhelming as I thought. All right. So that slide looks kind of scary, right? Your cleaners are toxic. But here's the bigger conversation I really want us to have. Many conventional cleaning products contain ingredients that can be irritating, or some people may prefer to just reduce their exposure to, especially when they're using multiple products day after day throughout their homes. And one thing that makes this tricky is something called greenwashing. This is when marketing, we love marketing, right? It makes a product look healthier or more environmentally friendly than it actually may be. Maybe the bottle is green. Maybe there's a leaf on it. Maybe it says pure, fresh, natural, clean. And our brains are like, oh, this has to be the good one, right? But those words on the front of the bottle don't always tell the whole story. And this is where we always say, time to turn that bottle around, see what's going on the back. And as a teacher, I always tell my kids to look for the evidence. Same thing here with our cleaners. Don't just look at that pretty label on the front. Start asking questions about what's actually in the product because awareness is where change really happens. All right. This is a big list of ingredients, and I know it can be overwhelming. And you're looking at all these names and thinking, oh, great, now I need a chemistry degree just to clean my bathroom. Yeah, no, don't worry. We don't want you to memorize this list, but we want you to understand that different ingredients raise different concerns. Some could be irritating to the skin, the eyes, or your respiratory system. Some of these ingredients have raised concerns related to our hormonal activity. Some may be harmful depending on the amount you use, the route that they're absorbing into your body, and the length of your exposure to them. And that last part matters. And I don't want to oversimplify this. The dose matters, the exposure matters, the frequency matters. Here's my personal thought. If I have an easy, effective option that allows me to reduce unnecessary exposure to ingredients I don't really want in my house, why wouldn't I consider that, right? That's really the lens that I use. Not fear, not perfection, but is there a better option that's going to actually work? So we're going to do a little dive into a few ingredients. The first one is what I jokingly call the F word in my house, fragrance. This is a big one because fragrance is everywhere. It's in laundry detergents, dryer sheets, plugins, candles, room sprays, hand soap, shampoo, lotion, cleaning sprays. You get the idea, right? We've all been trained to associate that strong scent with clean. I mean, if the laundry didn't smell like the Mountain Meadow Fresh Breeze explosion, did we even really wash our clothes? I was that girl. Before I learned about fragrance and how harmful it was, I had the candles, the plugins, the things everywhere. And before I even started my journey into cleaner, healthier swaps, I came home and removed all those candles and plugins because I learned how harmful they were. Did you know clean actually doesn't have a smell? And when you see the word fragrance or perfume on a label, that one word can be a laundry list, no pun intended, of synthetic chemicals that can harm you, and the companies don't need to disclose it. It's just their proprietary blend. So you don't even know what's in the fragrance. That was a huge mindset shift for me. I started realizing it wasn't just the one scented product I was using. I had the scented laundry detergent, the fabric softener, the hand soaps, the air fresheners. All of those things were exposing me day after day, day after day. And again, it's not about panic, but it's about asking yourself, do I need this much fragrance in my environment? And for me, it was a big no. So, what are the other big ones that I want to tell you about? Well, again, not 20 ingredients, but here are a few I think you need to be aware of and be on the lookout for. One is formaldehyde. We've all heard of that, right? It's what they embalm bodies with. But it's a preservative that's found in air fresheners, candles, lotions, cosmetics, and even baby wipes. Ew. It's a known carcinogen, which means it is linked to cancer and it can cause skin and respiratory irritations. I mean, if that tells you anything, inhaling scents from formaldehyde containing candles or sprays, it's like the equivalent of inhaling secondhand smoke. And that is just as dangerous, if not more so, than actually smoking the cigarette itself. So, ew, right? Formaldehyde. Who would have thought? The next one is SLS, or sodium lauryl sulfate. So, this is a cleansing and foaming agent. It was originally created as a heavy degreaser to get like grease off of garage floors. It's also the stuff that makes a lot of toothpaste foam up, or some of your soaps and cleansers. So, yeah, think about that. Go look at your toothpaste. It's kind of scary that SLS is in there. It can be irritating and it can have a lot of impacts on your body. The next one are phthalates. These are a group of chemicals that are found in personal care products. If you've been looking at shampoos, and a lot of products now say sulfate free, that's in the same family. It's also in cleaning products, plastics, and vinyl. And because of how dangerous phthalates are, they have been banned in the production of children's toys. Yay, because kids put everything in their mouth, right? However, they're still in a lot of our household products. They are known endocrine disruptors, and they're very hard for our body to break down when we are constantly exposed to it. They can affect your whole endocrine system, your reproductive health, and they've even been linked to cancers. And then finally, the last scary thing I'm going to talk about is triclosan. Triclosan is an ingredient that's added to a lot of consumer products that is supposed to help with like bacterial contamination, right? So think like hand sanitizers and soaps. But it can affect our thyroid and our endocrine system. And it was banned by the FDA to be used in antiseptic washes, but it can still be found in other things like toothpaste, cosmetics, clothing, furniture. What? Now, I'm telling you this because I don't want you to think that one exposure equals disease. That's not the case. That's not how it works. But when you learn about these ingredients and you start looking into them and you start thinking about how many different things, how many times a day am I exposing myself to it, that's where the issues become. So let's connect these dots. You heard me say all these things that it impacts. Endocrine disruptor, And disruptor, carcinogen, bioaccumulation. So, an endocrine disruptor is a substance that interferes with our body's hormonal system. We don't want to mess with that, especially us ladies. We already got enough going on, right? We don't need to add to that. The hormonal system of our body are the messengers. It helps regulate so many things: our growth, our metabolism, our reproductive system, our stress response, and so much more. Now, we know a carcinogen is a substance that is known to cause or increase cancer risks under certain conditions. Again, context matters, the amount, the duration of exposure, all of those things matter. But then there's this bioaccumulation, and this is kind of what got me. This is the idea that certain things can build up in an organism over time when exposure happens faster than it can be eliminated. So, for example, since the time I was 12, I was using, lotions and all the different shampoos, all the things that were fun, the Downy, the laundry. But as we age, those things have continuously been building up in our body. And our bodies then reach a point where it's accumulating faster than our body can naturally break it down. So that's when it all shifted for me. When I was diagnosed with autoimmunes, I was like, what is happening to my body and how do I change this? So I had to start asking myself, what am I using repeatedly every day in multiple areas of my home? And where can I make some simple swaps? That feels like a practical question we can all ask ourselves, right? And then here's the big one. Whenever I start talking about easy swaps for cleaning, people are like, well, I use vinegar. Why isn't vinegar just the easy button? Well, I'm not anti-vinegar. Vinegar absolutely has a place in my home, but I also don't think vinegar is the magic answer for every cleaning job. Vinegar is an acid. So yes, it can cut through certain types of buildup and grime, but concentration matters. A tiny little splash of vinegar in a big bucket of water may not be doing nearly as much as we think it is. And there are also surfaces where you need to be careful. Vinegar is acidic. It can damage certain natural stones and some finishes. So for me, again, the bigger issue is I want to know that what I'm using is actually cleaning like it's supposed to. I don't want to spray something because Pinterest told me to, wipe it around and just hope for the best. I also don't want 12 different DIY recipes that make me pull out baking soda, vinegar, Castile soap, witch hazel, 3 measuring spoons, and a chemistry set every time I'm going to clean. There's an easier way to do this, friends. So yes, vinegar can definitely be useful. I just don't think it's the answer to everything. So what can we use instead? First, please don't go walking through your house tonight with a big old giant garbage bag and throw everything in it. You've got to swap things out. It took me probably 9 months once I started the journey to really take it all in, learn how to use it, and trust the process. So when something runs out, replace it with something you feel good about. I would start with something you use all the time. My favorite was starting with like my kitchen counters, or maybe it's a fragrance. Maybe it's your laundry. You need to look into that. But obviously tonight we're going to be talking about a plant-based, wonderful product from Young Living. But I just want to know that my products work, right? And I'm not interested in a cleaner that just smells lovely but leaves all the stains still everywhere else. So now I'm going to turn this over to Tracey, and she is going to break down what are these easy swaps that we know are safe from these chemicals.
That was awesome, Shari. As you were talking about vinegar, I was like shaking my head, like, yes, exactly, because we love vinegar, but it's not for everything. And my husband hates the smell of vinegar. So that's actually what led us down to looking at some natural alternatives that wasn't vinegar based. So, this is what I like to call the easy button. I love learning. I will research ingredients. I will go down the rabbit hole at 10:30 at night, but I do not want cleaning my house to become a full-time hobby. I'm a wife. I'm a busy work at home mom and I need simple. And that's one reason why I love this Happy Healthy Home Kit. So instead of buying all these separate products for your kitchen and your bathroom, your floors, your laundry, your dishes, all the tough messes, this kind of gives you a starting point. And so many of the products are concentrated. I'm going to talk about how to stretch it out and like really stretch out your budget using these in just a minute. But I just want to say, we're going to be talking about sort of intentional ingredient choices while also using less product. And like I said, stretching it out and simplifying what we have under the sink. If you know me, I actually am the DIY person. I actually really enjoy DIYing, but it can be really overwhelming when you're just kind of getting started. It's like, oh my gosh, do I need like 20 separate ingredients? This is the easy button, you guys. You could just start out with just a few things and clean your entire home. And that's why I love it. So first of all, I want to talk to you about lemon oil. So if you're new to essential oils, lemon is the one that just makes sense. You use it once on something sticky and you think, okay, I get it now. This thing is like a natural goo gone. I love it to get rid of sticker residue. Like you buy something and there's like that price sticker on there, that gunk. It's really great for that. It's also really good for getting that dusty gunk off. Like if you have open shelves or like if you have your kitchen cabinets, I have sort of a space between the cabinet and the ceiling, and it always gets this gunky, dusty, like, oh, lemon oil, I'm telling you, just wipes it right up. You can use it in a simple DIY room spray. You can make your own glass cleaner. This is where the budget piece becomes really interesting. A small amount can go a really long way. And that same bottle can serve so many purposes. It looks small. The bottle looks really small. I want to say there's over 300 drops in a bottle, so you can really stretch it out and make it last. So it's one bottle, multiple uses, way less clutter. As you can see, when you're making your own DIY glass cleaner versus buying one in the store, look at the savings right there. It's huge. Okay, next up, let me introduce to you thieves oil. So this is the blend that really sort of, hit it home for a lot of us. It's thieves. So it's a blend of clove, lemon, cinnamon bark, eucalyptus radiata, and rosemary. So when you smell it, it honestly smells like cinnamon cookies baking in an oven. It's got that sort of warm, spicy, clean scent. But this blend was made on purpose, and it's actually the blend that is used in a lot of the cleaning products we're going to be talking about tonight. And we use it all around the home. So you can use it for cleaning routines. You can use it in your laundry, like to add to your wash. You can make a simple room spray or air freshener. You can mix it with some baking soda and sprinkle it on your carpets. Then boom, that's your carpet refreshener. You can create a mattress or upholstery spray, right? Like mix a little bit of thieves with some water and a little witch hazel and spray your mattress or upholstery. Oh, everything's going to smell so good. What I really love about it is that you can really create that my house smells clean feeling without relying on that synthetic fragrance that Shari was talking about earlier. So, I think sometimes we're trained to think that strong fragrance equals clean, but I'm just telling you, an aromatic product like this, where I know I'm choosing it and why, makes all the difference. The other really cool thing about these is that it pairs really well with other oils. So you can absolutely pair thieves with lemon oil, for instance, and that will help to boost the cleaning power, but also just sort of like gives it a nice citrusy scent. But you could boost it with other essential oils that we'll talk about in a whole nother class, where you can sort of shift the aroma. So you can create like even like a root beer aroma if you add some wintergreen to it. You could add some vanilla to it, and then it smells like this cinnamon candle. So it's so many fun ways to mix and match essential oils. But I really love to start with thieves for cleaning because it makes my home smell so good. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Thieves Cleaner. And I feel like if you remember nothing else from tonight, you're going to remember Thieves Cleaner. It really is the product that made the biggest difference in simplifying my cleaning routine. I use it as the base for pretty much everything. It's a concentrate. So you're going to see this bottle and you're going to think, how is this going to clean my entire home? So this one 14-ounce bottle makes 28 spray bottles, like the large spray bottles that you buy from the store. Maybe you were buying a Method or a Mrs. Meyer or a 409, right? Like you were buying those. If you just do 1 tablespoon or 1 capful into a large spray bottle and just add water, that's it. So this one 14-ounce bottle will make 28 to 30 spray bottles that you can use all around your home. So what am I talking? Everything, like literally everything. Your counters, your sinks, your tubs, your shower, your tile, your floors. It is literally the best floor cleaner ever. I love it. The fridge, stainless steel, stovetops, desks, workout equipment. Like, I'm not even joking. I'll eat and I'll have a mess on my shirt and I'll just grab the spray bottle and I'll spray Thieves Cleaner on it. And I'm like, there we go. That's my spot cleaner. It literally will clean everything. And let me just tell you, plant-based ingredients, safe for littles, safe for pets, right? Whether you've got, I know Shari is a grandma, right? And so, her little is crawling on the floor. Maybe you've got pets, right? And their paw prints are on the floor. Wouldn't you feel so much better using Thieves versus, I cringe thinking about it, but I used to use like, bleach wipes on the floor. Oh, I cringe so much, but you don't know what you don't know, right? But Thieves Cleaner is amazing. So in particular, if you're trying to simplify, replace multiple products, reduce your clutter, Thieves Cleaner is really going to be sort of like the star cleaning product that will help to stretch across all different cleaning jobs you have in your home. Okay, so next up, we've got Thieves Laundry Detergent. So laundry is a big thing. Let me just tell you, as a mom of 3 kids who played sports, I mean, you know how it goes. Like the football uniform, my kids like to skateboard, right, or surf. Like I can't tell you how awful swim shorts that have just been wrapped up in a towel for days and how awful the smell is. You need something that's going to cut through the odor, but you don't want something that's so harsh, right? That it's got that synthetic fragrance or all the junk ingredients, right? That's going to stay in the fibers. You want something that's going to be natural, but still powerful enough to get all the odors and stains out. And that's what Thieves laundry detergent does. So it works for everything you can think of, your towels, your sheets, your pajamas, your kids' clothes. In particular, I'm just thinking about moms, right? Those of you with young kiddos, right? You don't need to buy a separate laundry detergent to wash your baby clothes. You can use the exact same laundry detergent, right, for your baby, as well as like your yoga clothes, right, or your workout outfits, your kids' sports outfits, or let's say, your husband, works with, like maybe he's a mechanic and he's working with, oil and whatnot. Like Thieves laundry soap works for all of those things. There's no synthetic perfumes, no dyes, no phosphates, no chlorine, no optical brighteners, and no SLS. But here's the really cool thing is that it's really concentrated. So that one bottle, you can stretch it out just like you would stretch out that Thieves cleaner, and you can stretch it out 2 times, up to 4 times, and getting up to 256 loads of laundry. I mean, that's like a huge, huge bargain when you really think about it. And you could also make a stain stick with it with a little bit of the laundry soap as well as uh, Thieves concentrate, the cleaner, as well and lemon oil, and make a little stain stick if you've got like extra stains on there. So that works too. Okay, Thieves dish soap, dishes. This is something that we use constantly. And what I like about Thieves dish soap is that it's plant-based and naturally derived with cleaning ingredients like Thieves, bergamot, and jade lemon essential oils. Again, no synthetic fragrance, no dyes, no phosphates, no sulfates, but it works so well. Let me just tell you, I'm not interested in dish soap with beautiful ingredients that just stares helplessly at a greasy pan. Like I need the grease gone, right? Like we cook every night, I need it gone. And because this is so concentrated, a lot of people will dilute it to stretch it further. So again, one bottle doesn't necessarily equate to one bottle. You can stretch this out into 2, maybe even 3 bottles for some extra savings there. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about Thieves Scrub. So when a cleaning job requires a little bit more muscle, right? You're going to want to use this scrub. So this is like for those tougher messes. I'm talking grease, grime, residue, buildup, and stains. And I know what you're thinking. Can't baking soda do that? Yes, but I'm telling you, this is actually baking soda on steroids. Like it's so, so good. especially when I've got like that buildup, like I told you, that greasy, dusty buildup, or I've just got, like extra buildup in my tile, oh my gosh, my oven, on my cooktop, my stove top. We cook a lot and it's just, gunked on whatever, grease and all the good stuff, right? The backsplash, the cookware, even like the outdoor messes, right? Or your showers. This is where Thieves Scrub is going to come in. So lower tox cleaning does not mean weak cleaning. We're not standing in the kitchen, gently waving a lemon over the stove and hoping the grease disappears, right? I still want my house clean. The goal is effective products that better align with what I want in my home, and that's safe for my family, my pets, my kids, right? Safe for everybody. So that's Thieves Scrub. So now let's talk about budget options. I know the question everybody's going to be asking is, what is this going to cost me? And that's a completely fair question. We all have budgets, and I am all for stretching your budget. So, I want you to think about, what is this replacing? Because we're talking about products for everyday cleaning, laundry, dishes, tough scrubbing jobs, DIY recipes, air fresheners, even those scented candles, right? You can replace those too. Glass cleaning, and so much more. The Thieves Cleaner can make multiple spray bottles. Like I said, it can make 28 to 30 spray bottles. Like, you can really stretch that out. A bottle of Thieves Cleaner could last you months, right? The same with the laundry soap, the dish soap. They can all be stretched out. They're very concentrated. Lemon and thieves oil have so many different uses. Like I said, you don't have to buy air fresheners or scented candles, because you can use that to make room sprays and air fresheners. So this isn't just about, buying one expensive cleaner to replace a cheap cleaner. Look at the bigger picture. Okay. There's lots of savings here. So you can get the Happy Healthy Home Kit for just 108. It's normally 120, but we've got a coupon for you where you can save 10% off your order, and you can save 24% off anything you want to get in the future. So let's say after you get the kit, I'm just going to tell you the best deal is to just get the kit again and just kind of put it on repeat and subscribe to it. But you could even just, get the Thieves Cleaner, or just an oil, or add something else. Maybe you want to try a different cleaner or a different essential oil, or get a diffuser. You could do that too, which is great. So one thing that I want to mention to you that is literally the best bargain ever is getting on loyalty rewards. So when you grab the kit, you have the option to add it to loyalty rewards. And what you'll do is, when you do this, you'll get 10 points added to your account. And those points are kind of like store credit. It's like basically like $10 to use, where you can get something else in the future. But when you stay on this and you do it again next month, you can change up your order. You don't have to get the Happy Healthy Home Kit again. You could get Thieves Cleaner and another bottle of Thieves oil, or whatever you want. But if you spend at least $50 on loyalty next month, you're going to get a free diffuser. Again, replacing those air fresheners, those plugins, those scented candles. It's such a great deal. And I really just want to hone in on this just a little bit. Like, thinking about this whole kit, Thieves Cleaner alone makes 28 bottles of all-purpose cleaning spray. If I went to Target or Walmart and I bought a $4 cleaning spray, a 409, a Method, right? If I bought 28 bottles of those, that would be $112 alone, right? So I just want to show you sort of like the comparison there of like what a huge bargain this is. Then you add in the laundry detergent that does 256 loads. Just think about this, 256 loads, again, can last you months. A natural dish soap that can be stretched out, the cleaning scrub. I mean, we're easily talking over $200, but you're getting it for like almost half the price, right? For 108. So I just wanted to sort of, show you what a huge bargain that is. Okay, so next steps. I want to bring us back to where we started. This was never about fear. It's not about perfection. Shari and I aren't going to come over to inspect your cabinets or look under your kitchen sink, right? We're not going to tell you to throw away everything tonight. What we hope you learn is that, awareness gives us choices. And once we start to understand what we're bringing into our homes, once we start reading labels, right? Once we realize that green, clean, and natural on the front of a bottle doesn't always tell the story, then we get to choose. And for me, this journey has always been about small swaps, one product at a time, one habit at a time, one better choice at a time. And, that's why I love this. It's just a really simple system, a way for you to clean smarter, simplify what you're doing, to be really intentional about the ingredients that you're bringing into your home, and spending less by choosing concentrated products that can do more than just one job. So again, to get started, what I would recommend is you get that Happy Healthy Home Kit and you go back to the person who referred you to this call tonight. So whether it was me, whether it was Shari, or maybe it was someone else, get back with them and say, I want this thing. This looks amazing. I love all of this. I want to, save money and stretch out my cleaning products and bring natural things into my home. I want this. And they will get you that 10% off code and help you to order. And then tell them, I want the free diffuser too. And they'll explain how to do that because you definitely want the diffuser, just saying. Okay, one last thing. Maybe you've got friends and family who are interested in natural cleaning, or you think, oh, I know this mom, she's just had a baby, right? And I know this would be so good for her. Reach out to us, reach out to me or to Shari, or again, the person who referred you, and we can send you a link to this class so that you can share it with a friend, or we can send you even the slides so that you can teach the class yourself if that's what you wanted to do. But I really just, love sort of the ability to be able to share this with other people, because once you experience these cleaner, I'm just saying, once you experience it, you just like cannot keep it a secret. You want to like shout it from the rooftops and tell every single person you need thieves cleaner. Why are you spending your money right at the store buying all of these cleaning sprays when thieves cleaner, thieves laundry soap, and this entire kit can literally replace everything? So if you need some help with that, reach out to us and we would be happy to help you. But that's it for tonight. If you want to follow Shari and I on Instagram, we've got our handles here. But we wanted to say thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we cannot wait for you to join in the next call that we're going to be doing in about 2 weeks. And we're going to be talking about essential oils and natural solutions. So make sure to ask us about that or follow up with the person who referred you and they can get you the details. But just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us tonight.